I'm watching this program. 999, what's your emergency, please caller. You get this asswipe who fakes a suicide, so he gets picked up by the ambulance at the cost of the taxpayer, which is probably between £300 and £500 a time. He's taken to hospital, then treated, then discharged. What happens again? He phones up the ambulance again, claiming to commit suicide. Ambulance turns up. Again, they pick him up, put him in the stretcher, and take him to the hospital. Another charge on the taxpayer between £300 and £500. Then, a third time. Look, either you got to let these assholes take the piss out the taxman who are paying for this ambulance service, or you quite simply say as well, it's quite simply as you have one option, Tom. Either stop doing it or you be sent to prison, because at the end of the day is in 3 separate evenings in a row he's cost the taxman over £1,000. Enough is enough. Why do these people pamper to these assholes who obviously have less brain than whale shit and feel that the only way they can get attention is by screwing a taxman, phoning up, I shall take back the car, shall I? Because I ain't got a brain. I ain't got a life. No one likes me. Wow. Life, Tom, is sometimes unpleasant, but screwing everybody just to give yourself some own satisfaction is not the way to do it. Look, David Cameron, enough is enough. If you keep turning a blind eye to these assholes who waste the taxpayers' money by phoning up the ambulance, then the NHS will always be broke and always be in a state of bankruptcy, a state of ruin. Do something. Stop pampering to them. Give them to the army. Perfect solution. They'll be taught discipline. They'll have their head cleaned up. They'll learn how to show respect. And all these assholes who commit these burglaries over and over and over again, and nothing happens to them, give them to the army. Because when you're presented with a shouting, vicious, aggressive, ugly-looking sergeant first thing in the morning, and you piss him off, peeling 1,000 potatoes a week is not the ideal thing you want to do. Stop pampering to these assholes, David Cameron, and look at it from our point of view. It's okay for you politicians who get around £65,000 a year, plus all the directorships that you're involved in, and all the massive millionaires who are normally screwing the taxman anyway for these massive loopholes and hiding away billions. You can't keep throwing pearls to swine. We're not a bottomless pit. Enough is enough. Quite simply, Mr. Cameron, if a person does not live in England, has never paid any contribution whatsoever in England, that person should be denied legal aid. If a person is an asylum seeker, he should be denied legal aid. I'm disabled. I get more likely more money for my disability, which doesn't allow me to get legal aid. And I've made contributions, I pay tax all my life, and yet I'm denied legal aid because these abracadabras who cost the government over £2 million in legal fees. Hang on, £2 million in legal fees? You got to ask the solicitors. Ask them why are they screwing the government so much and the legal aid so much. It's just a few of their own Ferraris and their helicopter pads. Enough is enough. Quite simply is allow anybody one legal appeal. If they appeal and it's denied them, that's it. Simple. Hunky-dory, you're shoved on the plane, you're out of the country, and banned from ever entering this country ever again. And these programs you watch called border controls, no, UK border controls, they arrest people, but because they don't have the facilities or the finances to lock them up while they're on police bail, they release them. What happens? They disappear into the system. And a few months later, they get picked up again, and bailed again, and released back in the system. Look, Mr. Cameron, get a life, get a grip on the reality that the rest of us have to live in, because obviously you're living in a bubble, which you have everything going for you. You phone 999, the police are outside your door within what? A minute? People like myself, if we phone 999, normally the police don't bother to turn up. So obviously, it's the police, but I don't completely blame the police. Because when the government keeps back certain money that should secure the running correctly of the police, so all these criminals are checked and eventually kicked out and found out where all the illegal immigrants are, then and only then can it be a nice place to live in England. Excuse me, I'm rambling. So Mr. Cameron, enough is enough. Look at your own citizens who've made contributions in the country they love and they're born in. Stop pampering for all these assholes who make claims knowing full well the only evidence that could be presented in open court are from secret agents. And instead of saying, no, you can't get it, you give in to it and pay them £50 million. Simple, isn't it? Mr. Cameron, enough is enough. It's not the European Union. Quite simple is, why don't you just say to the European courts, you're not getting any more money, because you're squandering the money. You get all your fat cat members and your judges, who, by the way, the majority of them are not really judges. They self-appoint themselves, because they're probably providing oral sex for each other and doing it in the closet where no one can know. And screwing not only the European Union, but all the other countries. And because they probably wipe their ass in £50 notes, knowing full well there's an unlimited money pot in all the European countries. So yeah, they can quite easily waste 30 million on a fountain in an obscure park, and then move on to another obscure adventure, losing another 50, 60 million. Enough is enough, David Cameron. Say to the European Union and the European judges, screw you, you're not getting more money. Because how does it benefit us? All these bloody Bulgarians, Romanians, all these friggin' foreigners over here, claiming benefits, excuse me? Claiming benefits and ripping off the state, then sending it back to their own country, or financing terrorists. I mean, I read a report, no, I heard it from, I think it's William Hague about donating money to Somalia. Hang on a minute, wait a minute. Donating money to Somalia? So the money that the government will give Somalia will probably go to Al-Shabaab, the terrorist group. The other half will probably go to the pirates, the Somalian pirates, to invest in bigger ships to raid and kidnap people sailing in the oceans. And excuse me, Mr. Hague, get a life. Climb out of the bubble, which is obviously so far up your own ass because you can't focus on reality, and look at it from my point of view. Stop giving money to India. I mean, in India, children live on the streets. Why do business with a country that allows this? Why do business with countries who are guilty of human rights. It's like saying, I don't mind if you beat the crap out of my neighbour, but just don't involve me in it. You know it goes on, so really, you're an accessory. You know that certain countries are guilty of war crimes or human rights, and yet you do business with it. It's like doing deals with the devil. So come on, Mr. Cameron, and the other members of the Conservative Party, and Nick Clegg, the little puppet of the Conservative Party, get a life. Climb out of your bubble, because your reality, you have no idea what's going on. No idea what's going on. And as for Theresa May, come on, she's doing a good job. It's easier to organise a virgin brothel for a group of impotent rugby players than it is for Theresa May to organise the immigration security. I know for a fact it's easier to organise a piss-up for a group of teetotalers than for Theresa May to get her job right. She's guilty of it. So, I'm Leslie Logan, and I hope you've enjoyed this rambling. Life sucks.